Once upon a time lived Amina, a young woman with a hopeful heart. She stands in her small garden with the golden light illuminating the fields where other farmers toil. She kneels in the small garden, staring at the tiny mustard seed in her palm and carefully presses it into the soil. A group of villagers watch from a distance. People murmur and talk behind her. Ah, Amina, of all the things to plant, why this? A mustard seed? It's too small to feed anyone. But Amina was unshaken. Her determination was burning within as she thought to herself, even the biggest trees start small. Let's wait and see. Some of the villagers chuckled and shook their heads as they watched her go day after day to look at the place where she planted the mustard seed. They said, such a waste of time. When will this girl learn? But yet again, Amina ignores them all and carries on. She would water the seed diligently and hoped for a sprout soon. At some point, doubt crept in and gnawed at her. What if they are right? She thought. Weeks passed and Amina continued to tend to the seed every day. But nothing seems to be happening. The villagers grew increasingly impatient and continued to mock her efforts. Fatima, Amina's best friend, visited her one afternoon. Amina, I believe in you, but people are saying you are stubborn. They think you should plant yam or maize or okra or something. Something useful, something that can easily grow. Amina sighed, looked at her friend and replied, but I believe this will grow. I just need time. At another time, Fatima hesitates before revealing her real concern. Amina, my friend, it's been several months since you planted the mustard seed. The village council say if your land isn't producing food soon, they might give it to somebody else. You don't want to lose your land, Amina. Amina's heart sank. She knew that the land was precious and every patch must contribute to the community. If her mustard seed doesn't grow soon, she could lose everything. Determined, she redoubles her efforts and watered the soil and hoped for the best. But then, disaster struck. One night, a storm raged through the village. Heavy rains flood the fields and strong winds uproot weaker plants. Amina rushes to the garden, her heart pounding. The soil is drenched, and many of her other crops have been damaged. Desperate, she digs through the mud for her tiny seedling. Nothing. With sadness in her eyes, she thought, had the storm washed away my one hope? Amina was sad. The villagers whispered among themselves. You see, we told her it was foolish to rely on something so tiny. Her friend spoke to her with a sympathetic tone. Amina, it is time to accept that not everything grows. Come, we will help you plant something else. Okay? And for the first time, doubt consumed Amina completely. Maybe she had been foolish. Maybe she should give up, she thought. The next time when Amina arrived her farm, something caught her eye. A tiny green sprout emerging from the soil. Wait, what? What is that? She looked closely, and there it was, a sprout. Alas, her mustard seed had survived. A very excited Amina tended to the sprout with renewed determination. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months, and the tiny plant grew taller. The villagers watched in disbelief as the mustard plant, once dismissed as worthless, transforms into a strong tree. By the season's end, the tree stood tall, its branches wide, offering shade to the village. Birds built nests in its leaves, and soon it bore fruit. The same villagers who mocked Amina now gathered beneath the tree, amazed. "Wow!" they exclaimed. "This tree came from that tiny seed?" Fatima, Amina's friend, said to her, "Oh, Amina, you never give up. You proved us all wrong. Perhaps we should have listened to you from the very start. This tree will bless the village for generations. Well done, my dear friend. I am so proud of your determination." "Thank you, my friend," Amina replied. People gathered fruits from the tree. Even the doubting elders enjoyed from it. A feast was held, and the village celebrated under the mustard tree, where laughter and glee filled the air. The tree, once doubted, had become a symbol of perseverance. Amina stands beneath its branches, watching the people she loved enjoy its shade and fruit. She realized she didn't just grow a tree, she grew faith, hope, and a lesson the village will never forget. Thank you for watching Bible Stories Made Simple. The story of the mustard seed speaks a lot of lessons to us. First, great things often start from the smallest and humblest of beginnings. Patience, care, and persistence will definitely lead to tremendous growth. Second, the story tells us that even the smallest amount of faith can lead to big impact. Just a little bit of belief can move mountains, the Bible says, and I just pray and hope we are able to have such faith. Thirdly, we see today how people take small loans and receive small trainings, but are able to use that and make big impact. And they do so through perseverance and patience and care and persistence, just like in the story of the mustard seed, where Amina's patience and persistence and diligence paid off in the end. I'll see you next week. Bye.